Welcome into this edition of the Recruiting Roundup powered by Rock and Refuel Varsity. That's Jason Jewell of Scout.com. I'm Jared Cohen. We bring the latest of Arizona high school football recruiting, and we do so year-round. Two big commitments happening over the past week. The first one, a lot of people know by now, Christian Kirk, top prospect in Arizona for the 2015 class last week, announced his commitment to Texas A&M.
Yeah, we were both out of that announcement, and what's gracious and humble kid Christian Kirk is. He ends up committing to Texas A&M, broke all the Arizona State fans' hearts. A lot of Sun Devil fans thought he was going to stay in state, but really it was he wanted to get out of state. He wanted to not be Christian Kirk, didn't want to be in the spotlight. He's going to Texas A&M, and he wanted to prove himself against the best of the best. He's going to have a chance to do that in the SEC.
Yeah, really impressed, really excited to see what he, Kyle Allen, and Quaylen Cunningham, that duo all coming from Arizona, can do at College Station over the next few years. Another commitment, kind of a switch of a commitment, one that you predicted about 3 weeks ago. Matt Pistone, former Oregon State commit, has switched his commitment to another school.
Yeah, he flipped to Boise State. Now, this is a kid that he committed very, very early, and it was either Oregon State or Boise State. Those were his two finalists. And then Oregon State had the coaching change, and Mike Riley left and goes to Nebraska. Did not honor his commitment at Nebraska, or did not take his offer to Nebraska. So he still was committed to Oregon State and the Beavers. But Boise State and Scott Huff, their offensive line coach, who's an Arizona guy, stayed in touch with them the whole time. Originally, Pistone was going to go visit Boise State anyway, even though he was committed to Oregon State. But with that coaching change and how Boise State has a proven track record of using 2, 3, even 4 tight ends, Pistone makes the flip and commits to Boise State.
And one of those tight ends, former Chaparral player Jake Rowe, he's more of a pass-catching tight end in that role. He's really stepped up and played well for them in that spot.
Yeah, he recently made honorable mention All Mountain West Conference, which is very huge for Jake because he's just a redshirt freshman.
Yeah, former Chaparral player. So congrats to Matt Pistone. We'll see if that continues to be the case leading up to signing day. Next, Jason, we have some offers to get to. The first one, nice big offer for Trent Gilbert, the wide receiver out of Higley.
Yeah, got his first Division I offer, and it comes from Navy. He's obviously a smart kid because Navy need those academics there. He's a guy that had a huge season, had over 1,200 yards receiving, but he's also a very good punter, average one of the state's best, average over 40 yards a punt, so he's a guy that could do either at the next level.
The only junior that we're mentioning on the show today, and a junior that we expect to blow up just tremendously between now and this time next year, Chandler wide receiver N'Keal Harry.
Yeah, he's 6'4" and 210 pounds, was offered by the University of Washington, who's going to be out here for their bowl practices at Chaparral High School. Has a previous offer from Arizona State, but he's going to be a guy that we talk about more and more on the recruiting roundup. He's going to have 20 offers before it's all said and done, but because he's one of those freak of nature type athletes.
He's definitely a freak of nature, and he's also quite the route runner, receiver, and also great pass blocker as well out of the receiver position. That was something that really stood out to me last year. 3 more offers, small school offers for some of the 2015's best players.
Yeah, Valparaiso's coming to Arizona and offered Brandon Best, a wide receiver from Paradise Valley. He's put together 2 very good years for the Trojans. They also offered J.W. Windsor, the defensive tackle out of Chandler High School, is starting to get a lot of attention at that smaller school level. Yeah, but both good students, very high GPAs. Greg Davis told me Brandon Best has a 3.8 GPA, and I know Windsor is in that level as well. Then you look another defensive tackle, Dominic Natoli, state champion at Saguaro 2 times in a row, was offered by Peru State, which is an NAIA school in Nebraska.
So, Jason, before things are all said and done for this edition of the Roundup, signing day, it's almost January, which means signing day is getting closer and closer. So give me, as we sit here today, 3 names of players that don't necessarily have any offers but will before signing day arrives.
Yeah, the first guy I want to mention is Emmanuel Gant, the quarterback at Tempe High School, Arizona's all-time leading passer, has over 10,000 yards in his career. UTEP is still sniffing around and could end up going on him. So I think that could be a first Division I offer for Emmanuel Gant. A guy that's a sleeper way up in Prescott High School, Skylar Clinton, is a guy that does it all. He's 6'3", 210 pounds, could be a tight end, a running back, a defensive player, a guy that not a lot of people know about right now, but in the month of January could heat up. And the last guy I want to mention already has the FCS offer, Aaron Blackwell, the D-tackle Liberty, who had a monster year. Has been offered by South Dakota State, but I think it's just a matter of time before an FBS school jumps in on him.
Well, continue to stick with the recruiting roundup. We'll have round-the-clock recruiting coverage leading up to signing day, which just the way things are going in December, it's just flying by. It means it's just around the corner, and we'll have all that for you. Until then, though, Jason Jewell, Jared Cohen, this has been the Recruiting Roundup, powered by Rock and Refuel Varsity.